There we go. Camera facing the right way. That'd be good. All right. Set this up right here. I can touch it down just a little bit. You're on a box again, so we're working with what we got. All right. Yeah, I'm just out in the garage today, organizing some things, getting some things cleaned up. We're waiting on some parts, etc., as per usual. But apparently, there's been some like pretty heavy snow towards the eastern or towards the western side, Tennessee and all that stuff, where we get the parts from. So we're a little bit delayed. But other than that, just out here making another list of things to take care of. It's blank because I just cleaned it, but I have things on my mind. There's a bunch of little small things we got to do and take care of. So yeah, just thought I would come on live, hang out for a little bit, see who joins, see who wants to hang out, and just be on here for a little bit. We will get to writing down some of these little small tasks we have to take care of and go from there in the next video. We got some injector clips. We're making some changes on the catch can. I'll explain that probably in the video, but we're gonna not do the vented can, I think. I had my reservations about it, and then I saw some comments and stuff on the last video about it, and so contacted STM. We kind of talked it out, and I just think going to a sealed can might be better. So yeah, I may have ordered the wrong one, but we'll see. We'll go from there. But yeah, first things first, these clips for the injectors finally showed up. So we got to re-clip the injectors, or reconnector the injectors. Let's see, what else we got piled up here? There's a bunch of titanium stuff we need to take care of. I'm not going to finish cutting up those hoses that came with the catch can, these guys. All these 10-an hoses, because I don't think I'm going to need as many 10-an, because the one I'm going to order, I think, has 2 6-an lines, and so I might just have to give these away with the catch can when I try to sell it. But yeah, just I thought everything through, planned everything through, but I just like I said, I had some reservations about that catch can, and just decided against going vented. They said, STM said that the vented catch cans, some people just like doing them. You can run them, that's fine, but it can cause like other like crankcase pressure and some other things. And he said that they've never like been able to like trace back an engine problem to the catch can, but it can cause that other like crankcase pressure in there. And so I just didn't want to deal with that ultimately. Didn't want to have that worry in the back of my mind of like, maybe it's the catch can, maybe it's something. I just wanted, he said they went with the sealed cans for everything they'd done, so I figured, why not just do that? And so we talked it out before whenever I ordered the catch can about doing the vented can, and at the time I had removed the PCV and had that larger line on the back of it there, the 10-an, instead of the catch can line, or the PCV line. And so they were like, well, you know, as long as your can is vented, it should be fine, because that's how you can get rid of the PCV. So anyway, we just talked it out, and I think I'm going to run the sealed can, but still have to decide wholly on if I'm going to sell it or not. I mounted the catch can, so unfortunately they won't be able to take it back, which kind of sucks, but I understand it is what it is. You can't take back something that's been mounted and has like these little like mounting marks on it, just right there and right there. That kind of bums me out, but he said we shouldn't have any problem selling it, so I believe in that. So we'll just sell it, and I think go with the sealed can. But let me clean up some of this stuff here. Again, today is not going to be like full of like riveting content. I'm just kind of hanging out and cleaning up some things, organizing some things so I can get my workspace clear here. If you've watched the last couple of videos, you might notice it being a little bit of a cluster back here. Things have just gotten out of hand, and it needs to be cleaned up. So love your videos. I'm rebuilding my Evo 8. It's red, so paint is trash. I just repainted my engine base. Everything should be back in. That's awesome. Yeah, I know like the 03 reds were like really bad for paint. I wasn't sure on the 9s if they still had that paint problem, but I know the red Evos do have some issues with paint. All of them have that clear on the wing, which mine is doing the same thing. It's kind of like chipping off and clearing. I need to have that re-cleared, but Yeah, good that you're getting it repainted. '05 is much better. Yeah, yeah, I've seen some red ones that are in pretty rough shape, so I can imagine. But you're redoing it now, so that's cool. That'll be this thing needs some fresh paint. Way back in my other videos, we were doing my first time. Thank you for the $3. That is awesome. I appreciate that very much. Yeah, this one I was doing a buff and some things on it, and I like was holding the buffer, and I went to like adjust my leg, and when I leaned forward, we pushed the buffer into the paint, I guess too hard, and we burnt through the clear. You might be able to see it. Right about, yeah, right there. It's got a little mark there, so that sucked. But ultimately, I'm gonna have this thing resprayed if I'm gonna do it myself, probably. But yeah, that was a fun time. So, but we're working now. We've done all this work to the car, and basically everything we've done, you're not gonna be able to see. It's all under it, and engine bay, of course, you'll see. But yeah, love the detail you go into on your channel. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I appreciate the donation there. Thanks for the detail. Notice part of it is just because I like to be detail oriented. The other part's just OCD. I can't help myself. Sometimes I get into a project and I'm like, this would look better if I just replaced it. But yeah, I appreciate that very much. How long have you had your red Evo 8? Did you just buy it, or? Nice. That bronze, I'm telling you, it's it looks so good in person. I'm not sure if it goes through on like the videos and the pictures, but man, it looks so good. I'll definitely be using that bronze for other projects and stuff. Do you follow me on Instagram and you saw I think I may have posted my control arms with that bronze. So if you saw it there, then yeah, it's a super cool color. I do love it. On the white Tacoma we're going to be doing, I think I'm going to use that bronze on that. It just looks so good. Injector connectors. If you're just joining, I'm making another list of things to do. I have this big one here that kind of has like a lot of the big project stuff we have to do, but I want to make another small list that kind of like all these little small projects we have going on that are kind of, I can make into one big thing, but I've had it for 4 years, 2 on the road, 2 off. Oh, you thought, nice. I appreciate that very much. I'm glad you are enjoying the content. Hopefully it's helped a little bit, or at least entertained you a little bit. I don't claim to be a professional or whatever, but just doing what we got to do to take care of the car. I've had this car now, again, I owned it for the first time for 7 years, and so I bought it back from the VIN number, tracked it back down, bought it back, and now this thing's been off the road for 2 years, and so it's taken forever. It's not your typical like YouTube build, I guess you could say, but doing what we can, working what we got, and yeah, hopefully in the next, I want to say month, it'll be running again and all that. We pretty much have everything we need to get it to that point now, but like I said, I'm waiting on some parts currently, but once that stuff gets here, it's like hardware and stuff, but yeah, we're almost there. If I was doing a whole drivetrain refresh on a 9 and sending the relevant stuff out to TRE, do you recommend a rear diff, front subframe, TK's engine, transfer removal? If you're doing the whole drivetrain, I don't think it really, to me, thank you, Big Tone. I appreciate that. Like I said earlier, it's partly me, partly my OCD, but I do appreciate that. As far as like taking it all apart, I don't know. This is the first time I've done anything like this, and so if you're taking the whole thing off anyway, working from the rear to the front might be easier for you, but definitely taking the front subframe off before doing the T-case would be easier for me. Like I said, I've said it in videos, I think, but I don't know how anyone does like half of this stuff with the parts still on the car, like the subframe and all that stuff. It's so tight in there. And so just taking everything off will make it a lot easier for you. So maybe working from the rear to the front would be easier as far as like getting everything off the car. But yeah, taking that front subframe off definitely will help, and not just like dropping it down a little bit, but taking it all the way off. It's more work in the long run, I guess you could say, but for me, it's been so much easier. Granted, we were doing all this work to it anyway and like refreshing everything, but still, yeah, I think if I do another Evo, which I plan to, taking everything apart is the way to go, because it clears up so much room and space. But basically, that order you have it in, I was looking at it again there, the rear diff, front subframe, TKs, engine, trans. I mean, that's pretty much the order that I would go into, or I did go in for all this stuff here. So yeah, I would do it that way again. Also, if we're running the AN line from the tank to the engine bay, is there a kit you recommend? I would look at Radium, honestly. That's what I have on this car. It's all like everything in the fuel tank, everything to the front, fuel rail, all that stuff is all that Radium kit. They sell like a complete thing for it. And so, yeah, it just connects in the back. They give you the directions and everything. You can download them on their site too, I think. But yeah, it just runs all the way to the front, replaces. Normally for that kit, I think you would switch, you switch the feed line to the return line, so it's a bigger line, but I just replaced everything and did the 6AN line all the way to the front. And so they do sell that kit. It's kind of pricey, but if you're doing all that anyway, I think in the long run, it's just easier to do it that way. But yeah, I'll check out Radium stuff. I would suggest to ceramic coat all the titanium parts for long-term protection. I haven't seen that, but that does make sense. I don't plan on driving this thing in any kind of like salt or like wintertime stuff. So, and if I do wash, when I do wash it, I'm going to blow everything out, dry everything out. So I'm going to try to keep on top of that kind of stuff so it doesn't like corrode and whatnot. But titanium parts shouldn't really corrode anyway. But the ceramic coating couldn't help, I'm sure, or could help, I'm sure. I disconnected the TKs from the trans and pushed it. Yeah, that is also for engine plus trans removal out the bottom. Really, honestly, when I took mine out, I took it out and over, and that to me was like super stressful because I didn't want to like. I know it wouldn't do it because the hoist I have and all that stuff can handle the weight and everything. It was pretty sketchy for me the first time doing it, going over the engine bay and all that stuff. So I didn't want to drop it or whatever. But putting it back in, I went under it and it was super easy. Obviously, if you have a lift, it's much easier to do that. But on the jacks, I just put 2 jacks, one on each side, and we just slowly lifted the car up and just rolled it right under. I will say that rolling the engine under it on the driver's side is a little bit easier because for some reason the frame rails are like an inch or so higher, so you don't have to go as high with the car. So the driver's side is easier to go under, in my opinion. If I do it again, I will probably go out and in from the underside, just because it was so easy to do. But thinking about that, it is whatever you're comfortable with. If you'd rather go over and don't like jacking the car up that high, I was much rather putting it back in. The engine bay was all freshly painted and all that stuff, so I didn't want to risk scratching anything. So I was like, I'll just jack it up and see how it goes. But yeah, definitely going under for me was a lot easier. My main worry with that is if my quick jack can lift high enough. You have a quick jack. Can lift it high enough to pull from under. Honestly, if you have that quick jack, these jack stands I have, I think I've linked them in some videos, but they are, see if I can find one. I have 4 of them. These jack stands here are Escos. They're like 3-ton jack stands. They're super strong and sturdy. I would just set the front on the jack stands, and then you can jack it up on the front, and it should make it easier. I don't know. I haven't seen the quick jacks in person to see like what the workspace is like up under there in the front, but that could be a route if you could set it down and then set it on those jack stands. Could be a little bit easier. Thanks for that tip. Once the block gets back, I was curious if that can be managed. Yeah, I bought those little, let me go grab one of those. They don't look like they're all that strong, but I bought these little things from Harbor Freight, and they have 1,000-pound capacity, and it's just some wood, but it handled the engine by itself and the engine and transmission together, and I rolled it right under with these things. The wheels are super strong. They're big enough where they don't get hung on a lot of things. You know, they get like rocks or whatever, like in the garage and the floor. So they roll right over stuff, and these things worked out great. I was a little bit skeptical about them at first, though, but yeah, these things worked out pretty good for me. It's like having a little skateboard to just roll under there. Okay, thanks. I'm bombarding you with. No, that's what we're here for. I try to help as much as I can. Like I said, I don't know everything. I don't claim to, but I try to help as much as I can. For 500 to 550, what clutch you recommend? I'm running an Exidy on this one. If I have the box here, I am running this one. This is the part number right there. But mine is an Exidy Twin. It may be overkill for this one here, but ACT has a HD clutch that's pretty good too, I've heard. I had an ACT on this one the first time it got rebuilt, and just to get it home. But then I had an Exidy on this car before when I owned it the first time, and I just loved it, and so I switched that out and sold the ACT. But do you recommend the pull type conversion? I'm not sure about that, to be honest with you. I just wanted to put what I was already had on the car before, and so I just did that one. I think the car had one of those. What's the name of it? It's the orange brand. I forget what it's called now. I can't think of it, but it had the hydraulic lines coming out of the transmission and all that stuff, and all that stuff was taken off as well. But yeah, I just think just the stock style, however it goes, I'm not sure about that conversion. I've not heard of that, but Quartermaster, yes, that's the one. Yes, definitely. With the Exidy, you get the ACT little bracket, or not bracket, but this thing, the ACT monolock collar, definitely get one of those. This is the Exidy one that came on it, but I took it off immediately and put on the ACT one, and I didn't have any issues with it. Clutch fork retainer. I did replace everything. I mean, up there. So I did put a radium clutch fork stop. That's what you mean. I did put one of those on there. I didn't have one on the car before when I owned it the first time, but I just didn't want to have any issues with that, so I did buy one of those and put it on there. Yeah, that stop. I mean, I never had an issue with that, like I said before, but I just figured it can't hurt to put it on there. It was like a $30 part, so might as well pop it on there. Why the stop? I had heard that under hard shifting, which I don't plan to do any kind of hard shifting as far as drag racing. I think they say that the clutch fork can bounce back too far and cause the clutch, this monolock, it to pop out of that. And so I never experienced that. I never had anything to do with that, but I figured, like I said, as a protective thing, why not just put it on there? It was $30. Yeah, you might have to, over time, it just gets, you just have to adjust that. It's super easy to adjust, but yeah, you probably will have to do that. Connectors. Also, since we're here, if anybody wants a vented STM catch cam, brand new. Hit me up, I guess. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I will be switching that up from the vented to the sealed catch can, which is unfortunate. Well, unfortunate and fortunate that like I'm doing it now as opposed to later and all that, but after there's oil in it. My one of the parts I'm waiting on, I talked about earlier, is the titanium stud kit for the O2 housing. If you guys haven't seen that, here's the housing that's going on it. Got it sitting right here, a little Tomei action. Excited to get that on there. It's really the last thing, and then we can do the T-case, subframe, and get the downpipe and stuff on there too. Let's see. There's masking tape everywhere. For the charcoal canister and EGR process, what did you go through to delete it? I don't know, honestly, because my when I had the car the first time, that EGR was disconnected and stuff like that, and so they put the plate and stuff on there. So I'm not sure what all that stuff, like how to do all that. I never had to remove it, it was just that way. But I think it's a fairly simple process. If you look up on, if you Google it, on the Evolution M forums, there are some like write-ups and stuff about that, that makes it pretty straightforward, I think. You've probably spent more on the hardware. Listen, I don't want to I don't want to talk about it, actually. No, but I definitely have ordered a lot of titanium hardware. I just got on this titanium like kick, like on the front part of the car in the engine bay. On the back part, we just I refinished all the stock hardware. There is some titanium back there, but not like in the front. I don't know if it's because it's in the engine bay and I know it'll be seen or what, but I've just gotten on this huge kick. Evo Spec has like a full kit to replace all the bolts in the rear, which I'm not doing that now, but I'm not saying it's out of the question in the future. I'm sure he does. He, yeah, he's worked on many, many Evos, so if anyone was to have one, I'm sure he would. To reroute the evap line, yeah, there's some things on there. Like I said, I how it was on the car was how I left it, and so all that was already done. So I didn't have any of the stuff to do that with. So I'm unfortunately unexperienced in that portion of things. Like I said, that on the Evolution M forums, there are several write-ups about it, I'm sure. I found a couple of them like a long time ago, and I think they go through the whole process, but yeah, unfortunately I don't have any links for you to like just put it down there in the chat, but a quick Google of like EGR Evo 9 stuff, it should come up. There's a lot of things that I've like come across on this project of stuff that I just didn't think about and stuff like that. And so it's not surprising to me that there's like a weird thing about some lines that has to be ran or something. All this 10 line, I don't know what to do with that, but these are wrenches. There's just so much stuff up here. You don't realize how much crap you use until you do a couple days worth of work, and then it's just everywhere. I try to stay on top of it, keeping like my workspace clean, cause like clean space, clean mind, I guess. But man, it's gotten really bad on this side of the the garage here recently. What shifter are you going with? I have a Torque Solutions short shifter kit I'm gonna put on the car, but other than that, just stock stuff. There was a company that makes a billet like mount on the transmission, as well as like some new clutch lines. I do want to do that eventually. Those look super sick. But yes, the base Lancers, there are a lot of shared parts for those things. Speaking of which, I just ordered a my hood latch cable to like release the hood. I cut that a long time ago because it was stuck and I was trying to get it out, and so I just cut it. But of course, after I cut it, I found out that they discontinued it. But I'm gonna cross my fingers that I think the base Lancer hood latch cable will work for that. So if it doesn't, then we'll have to figure out what we're gonna do. But I thought I would try the $27 part first as opposed to the $1,100 hood. So get around the CT9, yeah, the Evo tax, that's for sure. Door panels and dash is the same, yep. The door panels, the dash, I wish the frigging trunk carpet was the same. That would be sweet. Like those side panels that are gone. Did you need to replace your shifter cables, or were they okay? I think they're okay. The transmission felt a little crunchy when I got the car back, when I first brought the car back. And so we rebuilt the transmission, we did everything, and the drivetrain has been done. So once we get everything back in and I can run through the gears and see how it feels, to see if there's any like bends in the line or whatever, then I'll assess it from there. But like I said, that place that has the billet, I can't think of the name of that company now, my mind is gapping me, but they have the billet mount and the clutch cable replacement. And so I think I'll do that if there's an issue. But if not, I think I'll run it for a little while and see how it goes. But yeah, drip moldings. Yeah, the drip moldings, the window moldings. I've heard that the, speaking of which, let me take you over here. Let me unplug you because you guys are on charge. This happened when I was spraying the car. Didn't even realize it. I had paper over the windows. And if you haven't seen it on the videos, we definitely cracked the windshield here. And so I have heard that the Lancer windshields are the same, they're just heavier. So if I can't find an Evo windshield, we may have to go that route on that, which kind of bums me out, but yeah. Drip moldings, window moldings, they're the same. Yeah, I actually found some drip moldings, Mitsubishi Parts Direct. I don't know if they have them there now or not, but those window moldings were super cheap comparably to what they are in some other places, brand new. And so I ordered those a while back. I've had those in the house forever. I think I paid like $300 or something like that for the whole molding piece, which is far off from the $1,200 at other places. Normal 9 to 5. I do a bunch of different things. I worked for Trek Bikes for a while, and then I have my own company that does like marketing work, social media stuff. And so yeah, just projects and projects and projects on the sides and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. The whole ordering process with ShipTrans was super smooth. I mean, they do everything. So they send you a box, you put the transmission in the box, and then you tell them it's ready, and they schedule a pickup, and it gets sent to them, and all that. So it was super smooth. I did do TRE on my rear differential. The only reason I went with ShipTrans over TRE was honestly the communication. I just the rear differential took like a month to even get to the point where I could get the thing sent off to him. And so he's super good. He's been doing it forever. I remember TRE being around in like 06, and that he's been doing it for a while. So he knows what he's doing and he knows his stuff. But as far as the communication and like all that kind of stuff was a thing for me. So I just went with ShipTrans and it was super easy. I will use them again for sure. Stock trans will last even on 500 unless you're launching it. Yeah, I mean, the stock trans, like the 5-speed, is super solid. If I didn't have the issues with it that was when I got the car back the first time, I wouldn't have bothered with, well, I may have as it looked like crap, but as far as like rebuilding the whole inside of it, I wouldn't have done that. I mean, it doesn't need to be. This car had 475 to the wheels when I owned it the first time, and never had any issues. Granted, I don't launch the car. That's what I don't like. People say that like Evos are unreliable and this, that, and the other, and it's like, not really. I mean, I owned the car for 7 years and had zero problems. If you're not driving it like, you're not like slamming gears and launching it all the time and pushing the parts past their limit. If you're buying parts that are rated for 500 and you're shooting for 8 with just boost and E85, then you're going to have things break and you're going to have things happen. So, yeah. Get any different ratios, upgrades in the transmission and wave track. What upgrades did you do on the rear diff? And on the ratios, no. They just replaced all the gearing in there. I think they said second and third was messed up, and then going into reverse was kind of grinding, so they fixed all that stuff. I did do wave track on my ACD. I removed the ACD from this car, and we're doing a non-ACD transfer case, so I did do wave track on that one. And then on the rear diff, I can't remember, it was so long ago, that's how long ago it's been. He did something like a restack, and he stacked them a different way, like a 12 disc something. I forget what it was, but I did do some upgrades to the rear diff to make it a little stronger and a little bit more reliable with some horsepower to it. As far as what else is available, I don't. If you contact like Shep Trans or someone like that, Shep Trans, in my experience, is very willing to answer questions and stuff like that. So they would for sure talk to you about things and answer any question you had for it. But yeah, I'm not sure what all is available. I know when I did mine at the time, the ring and pinion stuff was kind of hard to get a hold of. I'm not sure what that's looking like now, but yeah. I think now with like supply chain stuff, things are getting a little bit easier with that stuff, but yeah. I was looking at the non-ACD, seems like an easy way. Yeah, I mean, I didn't have any issues with my ACD. All the lights in it, like all the buttons worked, all that kind of stuff. There was no whining, nothing like that, but it was more in my mind as like a preventative kind of thing, as I know those parts are getting harder to come by on those pumps and stuff like that, and I see a lot of people having issues with those pumps and then having to try to find it on ACD. So I figured while I had the whole car torn apart and all this stuff, I might as well do the swap now. And so I got rid of all the ACD lines, all that kind of stuff, and it was quite a bit. So yeah, if you're looking for weight, that's definitely a way to save it. And like I said, with the wave track stuff, it makes up for anything in my opinion. So I'm excited to see how it drives and all that. But yeah, it was more of a preventative thing for me as to like save myself from the hassle later if there was an issue with the ACD pump and all that. Why not put an aftermarket window in? Are there aftermarket, like the Lexan stuff, or just... I haven't looked into it too much, to be honest with you, but I will have to here soon. So if you have any, if you have any tips or whatever, I'd be glad to hear it, because I cannot be... I mean, I guess I could drive it with the cracked windshield, but eh. You got a guy. See, that's the thing. I don't have a guy. I don't have anyone to like go to. I wish I had some connections down here that would be like, oh yeah, this is, super simple. We'll just do this. But that's, that's good. If you have a name of the aftermarket window, let me know, because like I said, I haven't looked into it too much. All I figured out was that the Lancer window might work, but I'm not 100% on that yet. What's your next project after the Evo? I do have that white Tacoma out here. We sold the gray Tacoma that I had. There was just too much stuff going on, and so I got rid of that truck, and we're going to use our new Tacoma we got, a little two-wheel drive Tacoma, and the goal for that one is to turn it into a drift truck, like kind of styled. So a bunch of swappage and stuff like that. We'll take the motor out. I want to do a 1JZ, I think, into it, and then we're going to put a Ford, I think it's an 8.8 rear end into it, because the gears and whatnot in the back of there, and that way both tires will spin. And that's like, that rear end is what everyone does on those trucks, and so we'll lower it down, we'll slam it real good, and then we'll I'm gonna repaint it, do a bunch of stuff to it. Not as like crazy of a restore as this thing, but probably end up being pretty close, because like I said, OCD. But that is the next project for sure. I've already started on it. I have some videos on it, but I've been working and like filming stuff on the side for that truck, so with the interior and all that stuff. So yeah, thanks for answering all my questions. I definitely have some more for you next time around. Look forward to the next video. No problem. I'm glad I could help. Hopefully I answered some of the questions. Like I said, I'm not in like a bank of knowledge, but I do try to help as much as I can. So hopefully it helped out, and thanks for looking forward to the next video. I appreciate it. What about getting another Evo for YouTube? That is in the that's in the plans. I would love to do that this year. Hopefully I can. I want to make, like, this thing, obviously it's been restored and it's like all this nice stuff on it, and it makes it hard to want to drive it, which I do want to drive it, but I'm not going to be doing anything crazy with it. But I would like to get into some like type of like rally type stuff. So I like to have an Evo to just thrash on, and be able to actually do things with it and not care about like the looks of it, or, you know, like beating up on it, I guess you could say. Beating up on the car would be, you know, hard to do with this one being as nice as it is now. But I do want to get another Evo for stuff like that, and take it to some like rally kind of things, and autocross type stuff maybe, and just make it more like a racy kind of thing. That would be fun to do, because I do have the itch to do that. I've always wanted to do that, and so having a car to do that would be awesome. I've had that, like, the itch to race for quite a while. I try to, like, I race the dirt bike and stuff like that occasionally. I haven't in a while. I haven't ridden in a long time, but when we were down in Florida, tried to race and stuff a couple times just to kind of get that itch scratched, but never did it in a car, so it'd be cool to do. I want to, another project this year that I want to learn and teach myself is how to weld. I don't know how to weld, and so I would love to learn that and build, like, for like on the truck, the Tacoma, like a tubular frame and things like that. I would love to learn how to do that. I've watched a lot of stuff on it, and I have some things, like, I've been writing things down and like trying to like build my knowledge on that, but I would definitely love to do that as well. Let me know if you need a subject you can ship in your car for 6 months. Yeah, I mean, hey, time attack. Yeah, I would love to do something like that as well. Just having a car, like, I love the Evo platform, obviously, and so having a car to just do things with it like that and not stress about things would be awesome. I get free labor, you get content. Hey, everything's content. I've grown to appreciate that and try to see that in everything as like anything's content. So yes, that is correct. I knew it when I started, like, you know, just film everything, do everything, everything's content, whatever, but like, you don't realize how much of it until you start doing it and stuff like that. And I definitely tried to embrace that over time and stuff. Just when things go wrong and things are like messing up, I try to just show everything, just because not everything's perfect and things happen when you're working on cars. And so, you know, people like to see that as well, like just the normal things that happen. So yeah. everything can be filmed and shown for content. I don't like when things go wrong, but ends up making me have to wait for things and having to redo things and all that, but is what it is. Power goals, I don't know. I mean, it's changed so much since I've started this whole car. When I first started it, my goal was like an easy, like reliable 500. But after everything we've done to the car and all the things we had to like rebuild and redo, that goal is kind of up in the air. I'm not 100% sure what it will make. I feel like from what I know and what I've seen and things like that, a reasonable number to expect is like 550. On pump gas, I'm not going to run E85. I'm not a big fan of E85. I'm sure that's like that's debatable and it's a topic people talk about all the time, but I'm just not a big fan of it really. Haven't made the jump into it yet, and I don't, just putting the gas in there to get an extra 100 horsepower, I don't particularly care. I'd rather the car be reliable and not be a strain on the parts and everything. So 550 for a street car is, I mean, more than fine in my opinion. And so, yeah, just I want it to be reliable and I want it to be strong. And so 550 is plenty, and the torque that will provide will be plenty. And yeah, all about reliability and stuff like that. So like whatever that ends up being, I'm fine with. Like I said before, the car, when I had it the first time, it had stock bottom end, stock head, I had cams, but like all that stuff, it made 475 to the wheels, 480 to the wheels. And so, I mean, now everything is built and all that. So whatever it ends up being, I'll be satisfied with. I just want the car to, like I said, be reliable and not break all the time. That would be that's the main goal. What's in the stage 2 package? From MAP? Dang, I can't get to my computer. I'm not 100% sure. The stage 2 package, I know it does come with like rods, pistons, obviously. I don't know. I'll have to look it up. Let me just try to slide my computer out from under you guys. You're kind of sitting on it, so give me 1 sec. Don't fall. There we go. All right, let me just look it up real quick and see. I did stage 2 motor, and then like I think I did their stage 1 head stuff. So the head and engine is built. One more question: how daunting was the whole underbody restoration? Was there a lot of stuff to keep track of? Honestly, at first it was super daunting because, like I said, I never did something like that before. So this is my first time doing it, and I was very nervous to start it. But once I got into it, it just kind of happened, and you have to do what you have to do. And I kind of lost track of everything, and this thing is not working. So yeah, sorry, I can't look up what's I don't know what it's doing there, but I can't. Yeah. But I do say, like, definitely as you're doing all the hardware and all the bolts and all that stuff are definitely hard to keep track of at first. But I went through and like took photos. I wrote down everything that came off. I measured them, like how long were the bolts, what went where, all that kind of stuff. As long as you document everything and you keep track of all of it that way and be very meticulous about it, you shouldn't have any issues. I didn't really, but I kept very meticulous notes about where everything went and came from. If you're going to send the bolts off to get like zinc plated or whatever, you will have to just bunch it all together because they're not going to do it separately. They're going to just like they dump it all in there and it's all mixed up. So keeping meticulous track of stuff will definitely help you in the long run. That's for sure. I had like sheets and sheets of paper of bolts that I like traced out or like wrote down everything about them. So Yeah. I don't remember my pin is the problem here. I'm gonna switch to password. Shit. I can't remember my password either. How handy. Oh, it's gonna lock me out. I know it is. Hey, that worked. All right, maybe I can show you what the I was in stage 2. Yeah. No, I don't want that. Let's see here. MA. I definitely don't remember the password to my account on MAP, so I can't like look up what I ordered, but I definitely have linked that in some of the older videos. I linked that through the video, but MAP spec built short block stage 2. That is what we got going here. That's for Evo 8 stuff. I need the 9. All of my bottom end is rated for 1,000 horsepower, but I'm only going to push 650 to 700 overbuilding for reliability. So I was curious what the price. Oh yeah. No, I understand that for sure. I can look on my, yeah, I don't mind. I mean, we're here now, so yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure they told me that. I mean, my entire bottom end is like basically rated for like 1,000 or like 900 horsepower or whatever. They said anything that I'm going to do with it is not going to push the motor to its like breaking point. So I was satisfied with that. I tried to not like overbuild just for the sake of overbuilding it though, because sometimes that can be a hindrance too to parts and whatnot. But yeah, all I can find is this stage 2 thing, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same kind of parts. But definitely that, I mean, like I said, I don't want to push things to where they're at their breaking point or at their max. And so I think my target boost is like maybe like 30 pounds, 32 pounds. I had 26 on it before with stock bottom end and everything. So I don't know what, I mean, I feel like it's kind of low with everything I got going on. So who knows? I'll let the tuner decide that. I think I'm going to have Performance Destination tune it. He can do it like all remotely and all that kind of stuff. So I think I might do it through him. Wiseco pistons, 1400 HD, OEM crankshaft, new check valves and oil squirters, Cali's Ultra Enforced with I-beam rods, and ARP main studs, King Series, ACL Race Series bearings and washers. So, yeah, it sounds like it's pretty much the same. Like I said, I mean, mine's rated for I think 900 horsepower too. So, go to Orlando, make a vacay out of it. I thought about it, but a couple things with that is I need to have him do like a base tune first for all the parts to even get it running, because I changed so much stuff on the car, injectors and all that stuff, intake manifold, all that. So I have to get it like base tuned first, and then I don't know, something about that like freaks me out driving to Orlando, however many hours that would be on like uncertainty of like what the car's gonna do and all that stuff. So I thought about it, and I sold my Tacoma that would be able to tow the car, so I can't really tow it there either. I could rent a truck, I guess, but it just seems like a lot to try to try to do. But I'd hate to like drive all the way there and then something happened or like a leak popped up or whatever and have to like drive back or whatever. So I don't know. I still have some time to figure that out, but yeah. I was talking to a guy in my area not long ago. Well, been a couple of months now, but he was going to fly him in and have him tune his truck, but that didn't pan out. I was like, man, if he's here, I could just have him do it then, but that didn't pan out, obviously. And it is cold in this garage. I had my heater on earlier, but now it's getting back down to temperature. Being late in the evening, the temperature is dropping. Getting a little chilly up in here. Oh shit. How long have we been online here? 51 minutes, my goodness. Time flies when you're having fun. I've been having fun. Hopefully you guys have been too. Did I paint with this glove? I did paint with that glove. Trying to keep those separated. Oh, paint chips to be flying into my stuff. So what's the next step for you as far as on the car, or what do you mean? Sorry, not 100%. If you're everything, the Evo, well, next step is I need to finish these injectors. I need to put these connectors on here. I'm not sure if you joined late or not, but these guys, I need to reconnect the injector wires because almost every one of those are broken on the car now. So I need to do that, take care of that, and then I need to mount all the AC stuff, condenser, fix all the lines. I got all new seals and O-rings to go on all the lines for the AC. Got to do all that, get all that hooked up, and then we can do intercooler piping, intercooler, all that kind of stuff. And then next week it's supposed to be in the 60s, so I'm going to sand the frame studs down. Not sand, but like I'm gonna take some red Scotch-Brite and like get them to where I can Cerakote them. So we're gonna Cerakote the frame studs, and then put the new subframe and all that stuff together, and then mount all that. But the T-case has to go on first. So I did order all the oil's here, so we should be good with that. And so we can mount the T-case and then get all the frame stuff on there. So really like 4 or 5 big kind of things to do. But other than that, not much. Got to put on the suspension, all that kind of stuff. After I get all that stuff done, as far as like next projects are concerned, we'll be moving to the interior. I need to do, like I got all the sound deadening and stuff here to do, so we'll do all that, rewire everything, and put everything back into the car, and it should be good to go after that. We got the dash and stuff is still out. I got to mount some new gauges and stuff we have in there. But yeah, just a lot of little small things after that. Crap, I'm almost out of tape. This shit right here is like $9 a roll. It's insane for tape that you just ultimately throw away. But you have to have it, I guess. It's one of those, what do they call it, perishables? necessary to buy, but it doesn't last long. All right, this workbench thing is cleaned off now. I think we'll hang out for about another 5 minutes, and we'll do it right at an hour and call it good from there. I think that's a solid live. Good hangout, good questions, good chatting with you guys. I want to try to do these lives like every week. So I'm hopefully going to get that on like a normal schedule where I can do that. I haven't done a live in a couple of weeks since I was working on the wiring over there. But I would like to make that kind of like a regular thing. Just so that way we can all stay a little more connected and this, that, and the other, and we're not just a bunch of names on the screen. I gotta order some more of this stuff too, this Easy Loom. This stuff is awesome. I think I'm gonna run like all the wiring on the inside. I'm gonna run through this stuff. It'll be hidden and you'll never see it, but it'll make the wiring be clean. More OCD stuff, attention to details, Hey neighbor, stay warm. Hey Steven. It is, I just talked about that. I said it is getting much colder. I had the heater on earlier, but now I've had it off for a while and it's getting very cold in here. So temperature's dropping out there, huh? You want to buy some RPF ones? I thought about that a while ago, but I actually have, they've been in the house for, like 8 months now, but I have a set of Volk CE28s up there, the Club Edition Blacks. So we'll have those put on the car here, like whenever it's all ready to roll again, actually like physically able to roll, we'll put those on, but I have to get some tires mounted up. I've had tires forever on this thing, but I think I'm gonna mount the tires I have to the truck wheels when we get those. We'll mount those to those, and we will order some new tires. I wasn't a fan, so this could be a long-winded answer. I ordered a set of CE28s a year and a half ago, knowing they were the wrong offset for the front, but I was like, I'll just run some spacers, no big deal. And so I mounted the tires I have to those, and they were fine, but I think I had 235s, 235/40s. So I want to do 235/35, or 245/35, sorry, on the tires. And so, yeah, I want to order new tires for that, but we had those CE28s, and then I didn't want to run the spacer because I was just like, after I thought about it, I was like, this is dumb. Like, I know it's the wrong offset. I don't want to run spacers on the car. Makes me get a little bit iffy. So sold those and ordered the new set that I found, which at this time, it was way hard to get these wheels. I had to like hunt for these things. But yeah, we ended up buying the other CE28s, and they've been in the house ever since. So sorry if that was a long-winded answer there, but I did think about RPF ones for the truck though. But I think I'm going to do some rays on those, the 57 DRs. I think those are the 6-spoke kind. I think I want to do those in bronze. If you've been here from the beginning, we're talking about the bronze Cerakote stuff. I want to run those bronze wheels because I think it matches the Cerakote really well. And so we'll have everything like on the car be white and bronze. Whenever I do paint that truck, I want to do, there's a, the Toyota Supra had a limited edition color a couple years ago. It was like a white. It's the same as a BMW color code, but I want to do some like white pearl. It's like a blue kind of pearl to it. I think that'll be cool. Speaking of other projects and what's next. I started out to make this list today on this live, but you guys were so active in the comments and questions and all that stuff, we didn't even get to that part. I got one thing written down. Look at that. Which, I'm fine with that. I expected to be able to make this whole list, but you guys were very chatty today, and I appreciate that. I like that a lot. I I'd rather chat with you guys than make a list anyway, so. I did get things cleaned up though. That was one of the other main goals. Getting things picked up around here so it's not so slobbish. I plan on doing a... Did we freeze? Oh, there we are, we're back. Listen, I almost did that. Instead of buying the Tacoma, I was this close to buying a Mighty Max, and I ended up doing the Tacoma instead. But I would love to do a 4G63 swap into a Mighty Max. That would be super fun. Reason why I wanted to do that was because you can put an Evo dash in those things. You have to trim quite a bit of it off the back of it to get it to fit with the curvature and everything, but you can fit the Evo dashes into those. And so I was trying to like do like a, not like a full interior swap for the Evo, but like center console, all that kind of stuff was going to be from an Evo. So you could do that as well if you wanted to do that. But a 4G63 Mighty Max is on my list of things I want to do for sure. I think I am still, even though I have the Tacoma and it's going to be more like Supra oriented, I do want to put an Evo center console into it. So, yeah. Just the Lancer, yes, like you could do, like you just talked about earlier about how they're all the same. So I didn't realize how closely, like it's the same dash. So yep, you could keep it cheap by finding you a Lancer at a junkyard somewhere, taking it out of there. It'd be super easy. And I mean, if you cut it up and you mess it up, then it was a Lancer dash. So that'd be super awesome. That's so funny that you said that, because that was legit, like seriously in the plans there for a while, but we went the Tacoma route instead. I think it'd be pretty, like, well, I say pretty easy, but I've never done a swap in my life. But yeah, I think it'd be, there's so many write-ups, I should say, about it and stuff online that it shouldn't be too hard, I guess. I'm thinking about testing out all black interior. Yeah, I've tried to do that. We sueded all the interior panels and like C-pillars, B-pillars, all that kind of stuff. And we sueded the headliner a long time ago and just trying to black it all out. But I would love to have my dash like upholstered professionally, because I can't do that. But to be honest, my mother is mostly my upholstery person. So she does, she has the machines and all that kind of stuff. So she's always done, she did my rear seats. She did my headliner. She did a lot of the stuff on the car as far as like upholstery work is concerned. So I don't feel like tasking her with a dashboard, though. That'd be kind of hard. I just had her over the holidays. Speaking of that, I just had her doing the door panels in the Tacoma with we had some bride material, so we were doing some things on the interior of those, like sun visors and stuff. So are you gonna like on the dash, are you gonna try to like flock the dash, or what are you trying to do? I'll send you pics of my engine bay on it. Yeah, do it. Yeah, for sure. I would like to see it. What we got here? 65 minutes? Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end this off. Massive shout out to you guys for chatting today and all that. I really appreciate that. And so, like I said, hopefully I will be doing these lives more often. Hopefully at least once a week. I want to schedule that so I can actually have that happen. So that'll be super cool. And like I said, I do appreciate you guys hanging out, chatting, all that, and appreciate the donation as well. That was super cool. Yeah, hopefully I'll do this again next week. We got one Black trim paint. My 21 Civic has all black from factory. You know, I don't understand, before I go, I don't understand why, like, there's not more just all black stuff. I get like the heat and whatever with the, you know, but the gray and all that's, like, especially brown. I really don't like brown interiors. My dad had a BMW that had brown, and I was like, why did you buy that with the brown interior? He's like, but it's peanut butter. It's brown. So, yeah, I don't know why there's not a lot more black, just all black interiors, but the black trim paint does work pretty well. I have done that on my A-pillar on the passenger side, but my little gauge pod pillar on the driver's side was black from, like, it's how I bought it. So, yeah, blacking out the interior is one of my favorite things to just, like, it just makes it look better in my opinion, but I'm not a car designer, or I don't work anywhere that has the ability to design cars, so I'll just do it myself. So anyway, I appreciate it. Like I said, thanks for the donos, thanks for the chatting, and we'll see you guys next week. Hopefully, have a good week. Bye.